What are the pros and the cons of living in Glen Heights, Texas? That's one of the most common questions that I get from clients that are looking to move into the area. So if you're thinking about moving to Glen Heights or simply want to learn more about the city, this is a video for you. And you're going to want to stay to the end because there's some cons that will not only surprise you, but can actually cost you money. Now, if we're just meeting, my name is Jaime Resendez. Welcome to the DFW Homeowner YouTube channel, where you'll find real estate information that no one else is sharing with you. All right, so let's dig in. Glen Heights is located south of Dallas and has about a 45-minute commute to downtown Fort Worth and about a 35-minute commute to downtown Dallas. Now, if you're trying to catch a flight, give yourself about 50 minutes to get there. Now, one of the biggest reasons that so many of our clients select Glen Heights to be on their short list of cities to consider is the affordable cost of living. Real estate prices in Glen Heights are fairly reasonable, especially how close it is to Dallas. Because as you can imagine, there's so many benefits to being that close to a major metropolitan city. Mostly because there's a high likelihood that that's where your job, career, and opportunities are. So the fact that real estate prices are reasonable and has a about average property tax rate when you compare it to the rest of the Metroplex, that's not a bad deal. Now, having an affordable cost of living is one thing, but is there actually inventory? Are there houses to purchase? Well, that's pro number two. Glen Heights has a lot of new construction going on right now. You have a lot of major builders in Glen Heights right now that are building out massive, incredible communities. You have First Texas Homes, Bluefield, Starlight, and on and on. Now, the reason that we highlight new builds on this particular YouTube channel is because we're such massive fans. Because for the most part, when you're talking about new, you're getting incredible warranties. You are typically coming to the closing table with less money down. Your interest rates are usually lower and you have a lot more incentives to purchase a brand new build. Now, the third benefit of Glen Heights is that small town feel. Now, the reason that Glen Heights feels like a small town is because it is a small town. We have less than 20,000 residents in the city. Now, it's going to continue to grow, of course, given all of the new build construction and the increasing demand that is being placed on surrounding cities around Dallas. But even when you factor that in, it still feels like a small community. In many cases, for the good and the bad, you're going to get to know your neighbors, because you're going to be running into them quite frequently at the local stops. The local stores, restaurants, schools, get used to it. And by the way, if you're finding value in this video, let me know that you're here by commenting Glen Heights down in the comment section. Because now we need to talk about some of the downsides. What are the cons of living in Glen Heights? Well, the first thing to know is that given that it's a small town, there's not as many things to do. You're not going to really have a lot of entertainment options. When it comes to restaurants, well, you're not going to have a ton of those either. When you're looking for shopping, you're gonna have to go up north to get to Dallas, and you're certainly not gonna have a nightlife. Now, I say all that with the full understanding that this is still a small town. So in reality, no small town is expected to have all this. So I just want you to be aware of that, especially if you don't know too much about the area. Because if you're looking for things like this to do, then it's probably not gonna be the city for you. Now, another con to Glen Heights is the traffic. Just like any small town that is exponentially growing and that happens to be right next door to one of the largest cities in the entire country, you can expect traffic the same way that you can expect a commute, because most of the individuals that live in Glen Heights do not work in Glen Heights, which means there's going to be a commute to the place of employment. And while we're on the topic of traffic and commute, understand that there's no public transportation in Glen Heights. So you will need a reliable vehicle to help you get around. Given that in several cases, Uber and Lyft just will not be enough, either because there's not enough drivers when you actually need them, or your commute's gonna be a little bit lengthy. So from a budget perspective, it gets a little pricey. Now, the third downside of Glen Heights is the crime rate. When you compare the city of Glen Heights to other similar cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, it underperforms. Now, given that I'm a real estate professional, there's certain things that I'm not able to touch on when it comes to this particular topic. So I'll link a lot of helpful resources down in the description for you to check out. So overall, the reason that so many of our clients end up going with Glen Heights over all the other cities is because the affordable cost of living, all of the new construction that's going on, and the small town feel. So if Glen Heights has piqued your interest and you want to learn more about the city all the way back to when it was founded, check out this video right here. Or if you're ready to check out some Glen Heights real estate, check out our list of preferred homes, linked down in the description.